Yo, hey guys, what's up? Good
Hey,
evening, good evening. Hey guys, yeah, from my part of the world, good evening to everyone. My name is John Sedano, Community Marketing Manager for Yield Guild Games, and my partner right there, Mr. Saratobi, the Head of Partnerships for YGG. How you doing, man?
Not too bad, not too bad. Hanging in there, just about.
Yeah, I see you have a cold and some cups right there, so I think you need your YGG energy drink,
I do.
in the form of our AMA tonight with our very special guest. I mean, this AMA has been pushed back a bit, but I've been having so many friends of mine just going crazy in my DMs and asking me like when monkey balls. I don't know, like the apes in the community are going crazy, and for some reason it's stuck to me. And sorry about that, but we have Mr. Oren Langberg right here. So why don't you go in and introduce yourself, sir?
yeah, for sure, man. I'm super excited to be here. Definitely one of the AMAs I was very much looking forward to, and obviously speaking with your community as well. As you mentioned, my name is Oren Langberg. I'm the head of marketing here at MonkeyBall. And a little background about me: I'm originally from the States, New York, New Jersey. What's up? And I'm also, we're currently now in Tel Aviv, so I've been here for about 10 years. But me, myself, I'm a lifelong marketer, a lifelong gamer. I mean, I grew up on Atari, Nintendo, of course. Age of Empires on the computer was my absolute fave. Right up to like FIFA and NBA Live, that's for sure. So for me to be able to kind of combine both finally is awesome, right? And to actually be able to do it with such a talented team is a real dream, that's for sure.
Awesome.
Yes, and I mean, obviously, here in YGG, we've been lucky enough to, hear a lot about Monkey Ball and what's happening with you guys. But for those in the audience, we'd love to have a quick elevator pitch, high-level overview of this project.
For sure. Definitely excited to dive in and elevator pitch. Actually, you know what? Let's start small and then expand, right? So, what's smaller than an elevator pitch? A walk by. We'll start with the walk by, then we'll go to the elevator and dive in a little bit deeper. So, I feel like the simplest kind of explanation on what it is, it's like imagine if FIFA Street and chess had a baby, that baby would be Monkey Ball, right? So, that's the walk by pitch. Elevator pitch, right? Monkey Ball is essentially a fast, turn-based, high production value arcade soccer game, play and earn style. It's easy to learn, hard to master, and essentially we're trying to pioneer esports on the metaverse, right? So Monkey Ball is just the first of many, where people will be able to essentially create, build, compete, and earn within Monkey Ball using our kind of Monkey NFTs as the in-game assets. So, I mentioned FIFA Street, right, and chess, right? So instead of human players and rooks and knights, you got these monkeys, right? These awesome, super boosted monkeys that have in-game skills and certain perk boosters. And it's 4-on-4 soccer, right? So turn-based, 12 rounds per game, 6 rounds per half. Essentially, a turn consists of either you can move your monkey to another quadrant, you can pass to another monkey on your team, you can dribble, you can shoot, you can perform a special move. So, and essentially, the goal is to score as many goals and to win matches, right? That's the purpose of the game, so to speak.
Awesome. And obviously there's so many games coming out at the moment in terms of like mobile games, desktop-based games. What do you think are going to be the kind of key features or points that kind of separate Monkey Ball from the rest of the pack?
Totally. I mean, first of all, we've only been out for a few months and we're still powering through. Like, we've kind of created and built one of the fastest growing communities. We're one of the most anticipated kind of play and earn games out there. And that's because we are filling a major gap in the market, right? So we're set out to deliver a super high production value game that won't take years to build. And we're pioneering multiple earning channels, right? So this is huge in the fact that we have a game that has the potential to bring in a lot of audiences, not just people from non-crypto into crypto, and not just crypto audience, but also hardcore gamers, casual gamers, people that are playing all day long, and people that just want a little bit more of a passive way to play and earn. And that will be through our spectator passive income, owning stadiums and land to host matches and tournaments. And this is just one of the first ways to get as many people to be able to participate and earn and have fun in Monkey Ball.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, great stuff, man. Really looking forward to having the community like check out Monkey Ball. But as of the moment, we have a bunch of people in the Discord discussion channel. So I'd like to invite everyone who's watching right now across the board. We have viewers from Discord, Twitch, and Facebook. So if you guys want to participate in the community discussions, feel free to drop in to the YGG Discord, and that's discord.gg/YGG. So yeah, before we move on to any more questions, Oren, like what I really am a fan of is the art. So I mean, there are a lot of games coming out, but I get it. Like the idea is like, tokenomics is the most important. Like you can have a subpar graphics game and just release it all together because you believe in the concept. But this time, like, you guys are not only offering a game that solves problems in the current system that we have for blockchain and NFT projects, but it's also basically almost like AAA graphics, not to mention the really sick NFTs. But then it takes a good team to pull something together like this. So like my personal opinion is, when I look into projects, I'd want to know more about the team behind it. So yeah, why did you do the honors and tell us more about the superpower, the team that behind the Avengers, basically behind the monkey business?
For sure. So, and it's very interesting what you pointed out, because that's what's needed. Like, there's games out there that have maybe a bit higher quality, but less on the economy, and it's unsustainable. Maybe it's a little bit more earning, but less on the engagement side. So we're really hitting all three of those core pillars, right? So game mechanics and design, plus the art, and plus the game economy. So those are super important elements. And we have the team delivering on those things, right? So top down, you mentioned the Avengers and things like that. Let's start with our incubators. Roz Friedman is like the Iron Man of gaming, right? He's one of the co-founders of Playtica. He helped take it from a startup to over 5,000 employees, publicly listed company. He's literally designed this game, and he's working on the ground floor with us in developing it, right? So he's literally known as one of the greatest game minds of our time, which is very reassuring as we build and we deliver this game that we promise. Our other incubator, Shachar Bar Geffen, who's also like the Bobby Fischer of Web3. He's had several successful companies, currently CEO of Cody. So top down, we have a really sick team. So we have all of our game developers have at least 7-10 years of experience within game developing on Unity. Our art department is massive, and we're talking about top talent down, people that worked on Disney productions, on Pixar productions, and obviously also other games. Art is a very, very important part, because this gives everyone the impression, the feeling. It gives the game mechanics a look and feel, right? So two very, very critical points, and top down, it's top notch. So I won't go out listing all the names, but what's important to know is that our site will be updated over the next week or so with our full team on there. We obviously have our LinkedIn page, so anybody can easily come in and check it out. And we'll also start next week putting out team profiles, which is super important, right? To get to know the team, we'll bring the team into our community a lot more for discussions and talks and things like that.
That's really cool. How big is your team at the moment?
So we're 27 now, which for me, I'm the warm fuzzy guy of the group. So for me, coming from when we were 3 people 3 months ago to now 27, it's like a very emotional for me. Yesterday we had a full all hands company meeting with a lot of people recruited in the last month. So it was really awesome to see. I've been a part of a couple startups in my time in my career, so it's really awesome to see startups grow and how they progress.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, really great stuff right there, Oren. Yeah, and it's it's really good to hear that you guys have a star-studded team. And I mean, it just comes to show with the response of your community and the YGG community as well. So shout out to everyone here on our chat threads, and especially the guys talking and just engaging here on the YGG Discord. Through our AMA discussion channel. And yeah, shout out to everyone who's helping actually educate like the new members hopping in and finding out about MonkeyBall for the first time. So like later on, we will be flashing the MonkeyBall Discord, and I'd like to request the YGG community to show our support and just drop some hashtag MonkeyFam or MonkeyBall Team MonkeyBall messages right there for support. But I mean, going back to the script, Oren, what I'd like to ask more specifically is, so now we know the team, we know the guys, the brains behind it. So what was actually the thought process and actually deciding that this is the game that we want to build, and why?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's definitely a question that a lot of people have, because it's very, it's an interesting concept. How did you come up with it? What's the idea behind it? I wish it was a bit sexier, right? But essentially, games are created typically in one of 2 ways, right? You either have a reference game out there or some kind of big game out there that you're like, okay, I want to make some tweaks. I want to make it my own in my own style, and you kind of take it from there. Or you identify a massive gap or a big gap in a certain market, in a certain genre, so to speak. And that's essentially how we started, right? So Shahaf and Raz, coming from each of the both worlds, coming together, they saw that there was a gap. They both love soccer, so that kind of narrowed down the sports. It's the most popular sports game in the world. And the rest is history, right? Monkeys is one of the most popular characters. There's a lot you can do with it. It's our forefathers, right? So much love and respect to our forefather monkeys.
And to all the apes in the community right now.
Yeah,
like, I love
the community. I just wanted to give a shout out to MonkeyBall community. They are literally the hottest community out there, and no disrespect to YGG, but such a close knit, tight community that we all look out for each other, and we're all in it. We all have the same passion with the same goal in mind. It's really humbling and it keeps us going. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. Like one thing that I noticed, like I actually pointed out earlier, is the energy and the enthusiasm of the community. It's I think I would segregate MonkeyBall into a different type of community from the others that I've experienced. And I mean, yeah, like how everything's kept light and everything's kept fun. I mean, the concept in itself, it's nothing to be taken too seriously. But at the same time, being a play to earn game, it is what it is, and we do have a community that takes it very, very seriously.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, were you gonna say something, Oren?
No, I was just agreeing with you, my man. I was just agreeing with you.
Awesome. Yeah. So before I jump back to Saratobi, I'd actually wanted to ask. So let's say like I myself am a newbie. I am I've only recently found out about MonkeyBall for just very recently. And what are the baby steps for me to be able to participate in the MonkeyBall ecosystem?
Cool. Perfect. So our player versus environment game mode comes out in several months, right? But we do have a few game features that lead up into that, which is super important. Now, we are finalizing a way to allow more and more people to participate in these features. But the idea is you need a monkey NFT, right, to start. So to participate in Pioneers Gear Up Camp, you will need a monkey NFT, but we're coming out with this news in the coming days that we have finalized people holding a certain amount of MBS will also be able to take part in Pioneers Gear Up Camp. So that's a very big announcement. And then moving forward as well, we have the launch of the in-game store, and the first part of that is the breeding capsule sale, right? And that's a super exciting part because all people with Gen 0 monkeys, you need at least 2 breedable monkeys, no incest monkeys. You'll be able to purchase a capsule and you can start breeding the next generations, right? That is super, super exciting. And when we get to player versus environment and we're actually trying to play the game itself, the MVP version of the game, you will need at least 1 monkey. I'll come back to if you have 0 monkeys in a minute, but if you have at least 1 monkey, you need 4 to a team, right? So you'll be able to either rent monkey mercenaries from other players that have multiple monkeys, like you'll be able to stake your monkeys and rent them out to other players if you like. Or you can use monkey droids, monkey ghosts, which is essentially the computers. And that's what the player versus environment is as well. So you can kind of trade energy for monkey ghosts, which are computer players, or you can spend MBS to rent monkeys until you earn enough to buy more and more monkeys. And what's really cool is we are trying to finalize a way to have more people participate. So we might be able to have a way for non-monkey NFT holders to still play and just utilize monkey ghosts as your whole team until you kind of earn enough, right? So that looks like the path that we're going. Much love, Cyberpunk. But yeah, that's the basic idea.
Yeah, great stuff indeed, man. Great stuff. I'm sorry, Toby. Like, I mean, I'm not quite sure, but are you a fan of soccer? And how's your reaction to having all these, blockchain games that are actually in your space, in your Waterloo?
I have to be perfectly honest, I'm not a massive soccer fan at all. I'm much more of a kind of let me fight space aliens and dragons and robot battles and stuff like that. But saying that, it's all about the gameplay and what people want. Obviously, football is a massive sport with a huge, fan base, and I think it appeals to a lot of people. So I can definitely see that there's going to be an appeal here. I mean, what I'd love to hear a little bit more about is obviously that kind of breeding mechanic that you were talking about there. Like, what kind of aspects there? Because obviously it's something that we've seen in a number of games, and obviously it provides a huge opportunity for a lot of people, but also kind of, I'd love to just hear a little bit more about that.
Totally, yeah. So I think I know where you were going too. Let me just complete you, man. And breeding offers its amazing advantages, and it's another kind of engaging way to engage in the game, so to speak, and also a way to earn money too, right? But it also can lead to difficulties within population overgrowth that we see in Axie and a couple other games and things like that. And that's why when you plan and design the game, those kind of things need to be planned and finalized right from the beginning. You know what I mean? So we have a couple different mechanisms in order to control the population growth as we grow. And this will also kind of not only maintain the stability of the population, but also the economy, right? So we're able to really control the growth through the amount of capsules that we sell and how frequently we sell them, right? How many generations we end up having, right? So there's a couple different mechanisms in place, and when it comes to the game and the economy and the art, this is something that we plan down to a T, right? So we have a lot of these things that we're really just now putting together into the final version that will come out.
Epic stuff. And obviously a question that I always like to ask is, from a technical standpoint, what kind of blockchain tech are you guys using? Now, I might already know the answer, but I'm going to let you kind of answer that question. I'd love to hear a bit of the reasoning about like the choices that you guys made there.
Sure. We're building on Solana, and now, Solana might be getting a little bit of a bad rap these days, but we know Solana is the future of blockchain, right? They have what it takes to move it forward. They have the team in place to get everything going, and essentially at 100%, their blockchain is the fastest, right? It's has the lowest fees, and I think even more important, the way that they built it gives our developers the flexibility to build a scalable game, right? And that's important. We can't be getting held up by certain things as we go. And that's essentially why we chose Solana.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
That was a shorter answer. I apologize, man. I know I was rambling in the previous one.
No problem at all. Sedana, do you have a question? Or is it,
Yeah, sorry, I was just reading through the comments actually. We're supposed to have the community questions like later on after my interview with Saratobi, right? But you know, I have something like very interesting that you know I'd want to point out here. So, I'm gonna be popping it up on the screen. So, here you go. So. The real Stig's asking, so how limited in supply will stadiums be? And do you think that all early adopters or supporters will have an opportunity to buy one?
So stadiums will also be able to kind of control in a certain amount, right? It all depends on how many we drop. These are coming towards at the end of 2022. There's still a few, several, details of which that need to be finalized. But there will be different levels of stadiums, right? We don't want only whales, so to speak, to be able to buy the stadiums, but we also want them to still have a certain prestige as well. So the idea is that people will be able to buy stadiums, they'll be able to host matches and tournaments and potentially events and things like that, and collect a percentage of the match proceeds and so on. But we'll definitely release, a full breakdown and deep dive into that as we get closer, for sure.
Awesome.
And also, think with stadiums, I'm so sorry, my man, for cutting you off.
Go ahead.
But just to open people's minds, stadiums offers MonkeyBall a lot of potential for partnerships, right? So just to kind of keep that open in your heads, we have a super robust partnership line from within crypto and without.
Yeah, I mean, just like with any sport, right? Like the advertising opportunities and partnerships are endless. Like sky's the limit for that one. And I mean, I actually have someone from Discord asking. So, when are going to be the female monkeys going to be released?
Ooh, we might have some surprises with those in store.
All right.
Yeah, stay tuned with those. But yes, female monkeys are coming, and they're a necessity. That's for sure.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, a really quick follow up to that before I jump back to Saratobi. So when the PvP system comes out, like we have guilds who are joining the MonkeyBall ecosystem altogether, and we also have individual players. I mean, how will we be able to balance out and make sure that the game is just fair for newbies and professionals from the economic merchant guilds as well?
That's a great question, actually, and I should have touched on it before. So a core component of MonkeyBall are the leagues, right? Within MonkeyBall, there's going to be leagues, right, based on skill level and things like that, right? So you won't necessarily, you'll have essentially different skill or the same skill levels within the same league, and then you'll need to league up, right? It's almost like leveling up. So you're going to need to complete a certain amount of missions, right? Whether it's scoring X goals in concession or winning X matches in concession, right? In succession, sorry. And then kind of leaguing up, right? That's the goal, to kind of go up there. So that's a good way to kind of make it fair for everyone, of course.
Awesome. Yeah, I saw Yaguria CC's comment right here on he's actually watching from he's watching from Twitch, and I just popped that up for everyone else to see. So he's asking about a rarity calculator for the NFTs, but like from how I've experienced with other games, this type of content is actually most of the time it's built by the community. So I'd want to ask a question like related to that concept. What is your take on community content and also community tools? Like, are you open to having everyone else built around what you have, or is everything going to be provided by the MonkeyBall ecosystem?
And so I think specifically the rarity or ranking calculator itself is currently being built by our team. But we definitely want to involve the community in as much as possible, right? So obviously we have bringing them into the development process and things like that. But I'm definitely also open to other ideas as well, like how they can take part. So one way is being a part of the gameplay testing, right?
Yeah.
Which is in our plans. So those things definitely. But essentially, our team is building that monkey ranking and rarity calculator as we speak. Should come out within the next several weeks. It's not as, and I'm sorry for going into it, but it's not as straightforward, identifying the rarity of a specific monkey as with maybe other pure NFT projects, right? So when it comes to monkey rarity and ranking, um, it really depends on what you're looking at it as. If you're an pure NFT collector, basing it off the awesomeness and the collectability of it, the appearance of it, then you're going to look at the alpha score, right? The alpha score that each monkey has essentially represents the probability that that specific monkey with all the combined traits will be selected out of the total population, right? If you're a monkey baller that wants your monkey for the gameplay and things like that, you will look at the combined game skills that it has and the max potentials of them, sorry, and also the game perks, right? So there's three different areas that you can identify the rarity, so to speak, or the uniqueness. Awesome. I can't wait to hear. Drop it in our Discord suggestion box, that's for sure. So when it comes to rarity, you can look at the alpha score. Alpha scores are between 180 and 800. So if you're on the upper side, you can see that. Having a higher alpha score will help your monkey with special moves and special abilities in the game. And then when you look at game skills, each monkey comes with four core game skills: accuracy, passing, control, and defense. Each of those skills, each monkey is born with a starting stat level, right? 15, 12, 13, and each of those has max potential. And then you have the game perks. So you have an ability that you can kind of combine each of the combined max potentials, and you can get a sense amongst all of the Gen Zero where your monkey lies. We have an article that I wrote that was a lot clearer than probably what I just said, but
Yeah, I mean, so as you mentioned it, so where could we actually like find, like the alpha, aside from the Discord, aside from Twitter, like where do you usually post like all these resources that, like for those people who want to go into a deep dive into everything?
beautiful.
What's our best
Yeah,
way?
cool.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. So, our medium, our blog posts are the foundation, right? So you have essentially every single article, deep dive, announcement that's in our medium page. We'll definitely post that up there with the rest of our socials. And that's where you'll get like the long form type of articles. So our monkey rank and rarity articles up in there. Everything you need to know about our NFTs, a little bit more high level, that's in there. That's the best place until this information is put into our site, which is being updated. So within our site, we'll also have our blog post, and we'll also have the monkey rank and rarity calculator over the next several weeks.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward, to the project just because of, how the community like really responds. Our community rather is responding, to the concept, like even to
Mhm.
engaging with your community as well. I mean, how we actually like get to build, really strong relationships and a really strong following for upcoming games is, I mean, it comes naturally. I mean, we could have all these projects coming in and out, trying, to get a partnership with YGG, but at the end of the day, it's a community who decides. And based on like what the community has shown tonight, we really expect quite of a bit of a following from the YGG community. I mean, not to mention, it's actually also being built for a guild system, which we specialize in as everyone else. But then I have a really good question now. So speaking of guilds, so what happens is, I mean, this is it's a question that many people may avoid or may not want to hear or may not want to answer. Um, what happens is when you have guilds, there are an abundance of NFTs just because like the guild has more purchasing power, or or we just go crazy with breeding. So Joshua Chua actually is asking, so how do you reduce dormant NFTs being held by non-active holders, and how do you actually make something out of this?
It's a it's a good point, and I think there's a couple things. Number one, obviously we created these monkey NFTs for the game, but in the end, we can't tell people what to do with the monkey NFT when they buy it, right? So if you're a collector, we can't tell you what to do with it, but we did take that into consideration when it comes to outlining the overall population, right? We wanted enough of our community to be able to have monkey NFTs. We wanted to be able to partner with the best guilds out there because it's essential for the game, the player ecosystem, and the game economy, and things like that. So essentially, the way we structured our Gen Zero and our kind of initial drop population for the guilds, we took that into consideration. And also, we have breeding season come out, so a lot more people will be able to get monkeys as well. But yeah, we can't really tell people what to do, man. That's, you know.
What actually, like, what my follow-up question to that is, let's say I have an abundance of monkeys, right? Will you guys have a staking feature? Is it actually part of the roadmap, like where I could just, stake all of my monkeys, and like what do you get out of that?
Yeah, so we have a really cool kind of feature in the roadmap where you'll be able to lease your monkeys, right?
Okay.
Let's say you have 8 monkeys, right? So you only need 4 for a team. You'll be able to lease those monkeys out to people. So in my previous kind of example or scenario, if you only have one monkey NFT and you want to start playing, then you'll be able to either trade energy, in-game energy, for the monkey ghosts or droids, or be able to rent monkey mercenaries from other players for sure, right? So then that person is earning MBS on that.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for answering that, Oren. I mean, Saratobi. So, I mean, you've been one of the OGs for breeding in the Axie Infinity community. Like, what do you think about all the other games, like especially like in this case like Monkey Ball, integrating like the same concept in their project? What strengths and maybe what pitfalls do you think like these games should be watching out for?
Yeah, well, I think it's great because on one hand, especially if it's kind of given to the community to be allowed, it kind of creates a player-driven economy, which inherently is great, right? Because it drives incentives to be involved in the ecosystem. It does also have some inherent limitations relating to kind of the growth of the economy, also being linked to, say, like player growth. And what's important there is obviously, and forgive me for getting mildly technical here, is just having the kind of appropriate number of faucets and sinks, having a really enjoyable game with solid gameplay that justifies the burning of tokens, the locking up of assets, and the use of assets beyond just like, number of assets go up needs number of players to go up. And if you can kind of build around that concept, and I mean, it's something that many games are going to kind of struggle with. I think it's a real challenge, but assuming that I think the game is really solid, that's where it is at. But other than that, I think that and to put a small kind of extra thing from a kind of business perspective, monetizing the kind of breeding fees on the marketplace is obviously a very solid monetization strategy for the studio as well, right? So personally, I think it's really solid, but does, like I said, have those limitations.
Yeah, I think you hit it. You use the right sentence there. You have to make sure that you have the right faucets and things like that. It's making sure that you have the right inputs and outputs, right? So that if you increase it to this, you need to expect this to come out and make sure that it doesn't impact the economy and so on. So those are definitely the things that we took into consideration when planning everything out, and also learning from others, right? So we might still be new within, crypto gaming, play to earn gaming might still be relatively new, but there's definitely a lot of projects that we're able to learn from.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, are there any kind of, other than, maybe actually, what other games have you been kind of looking at for inspiration?
And so, I mean, with breeding mechanisms, we've definitely looked at a couple different games, and we also have, people on our team that have been a part of several different projects to understand the breeding mechanism and build it out there. But we've essentially just tried to take what we've learned from outside, understood the economics behind it, and build it out there. So a lot of people think that, it's a lot of developing, but it's also a lot of statistics and uh, math, essentially, right? Economics and so on.
No,
Awesome.
absolutely.
Yeah. Great stuff. I actually have a question here. So with it's pretty known like for especially for games, like newly minted games. I mean, games that just recently came out. So you're always gonna have all eyes on you, and you wouldn't, you couldn't really avoid, bad actors, exploits, hackers. I mean, what do you
Hmm.
guys have in place, to make sure that the Monkey Ball ecosystem is protected in the onset?
Yeah. And so obviously it's running rampant, around crypto for sure. We've seen it happening time and time again within discords, right? Discords, that's the most prominent. And obviously when you have kind of drops and other things that bot attacks can come in. On the website side, and I mentioned that we're kind of updating the site, not just with UI, UX, but also our overall kind of system. But also it's about, I think, educating people as well, right? So I think Discord hacks are the most prevalent, right? It's people coming in, there's a lot of vulnerabilities there. There's a lot of FOMO, right? So people don't want to miss out on certain things. And they kind of fall into things, right? So there's a lot of passion out there and there's a lot of energy around certain projects, and those kind of things can lead to certain impulsive decisions, right? So we really just want to stay ahead of everything as best as possible. When it comes to the game and the website, that will be crazy secure. And our also main objective is to make sure our communities are safe as well, because certain things can come through there as well.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's really important, like especially when, as I mentioned, when it's a game that has a lot of has a lot of following. Like there are gonna be situations where we're gonna need the whole community to be protected, like on the onset, definitely for sure. I mean,
Totally. It's almost like impossible to prevent 100%, right? You can have a lot of different bot protection. You can have a lot of different
yeah,
layers. But there's thousands and thousands of people that literally their job is to find a loophole, right? So
yeah,
they find a loophole, we identify that loophole, we then plug it after, and then they find another one. It's a cat and
yeah.
mouse game all the way. But as long as you're proactive and you're
I totally agree.
being yeah, transparent and educating your community about it, we'll do the most that we can.
And
That's for sure.
yeah, definitely. I mean, even up to this point, like it's more of a how do you use it to your advantage, and how could you actually like I mean maybe like even implement these I don't know, I wouldn't call it exploits, but these how the other people like what they see that they can take advantage of, like patch it later on,
Hmm.
maybe even integrate it.
Exactly.
How MMO games now evolved into integrating like the bot system within the game. So now
Yep.
I mean having like it's for me it's the mindset of the team, like especially like coming from you, Oren, like having that open mind and also having the input from the community and having them involved and being transparent with them. It's
Totally.
that's what's going to be protecting the community. I mean,
Hmm.
not to brag, but like here in YGG, like we did experience the same exploits, but like we had our community support like from
Yep.
the very start, and it made a huge difference on the outcome of the attack. And I think I'm pretty confident with the same enthusiasm and same support from your community that monkey ball monkey ball is going to power through. Monkey ball is going to power
Hmm.
through, definitely.
I think what we need to also realize, and what people fail to recognize, because we're living in the moment and things are happening very very fast, and
Yeah,
we're also have our own lives that we're keeping up with. But crypto, play to earn gaming, the Discord communities, and it's still a young market. It's still a young industry that needs to evolve a little bit more and to plug those holes by itself. So that's something that we also need to take into consideration as we move forward.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, sorry, my camera's bugging, but I mean, so for our community right now, like, if you want to get involved with, with your community, like, what type of talent are actually you guys looking for? I mean, aside from community members, are you guys hiring? Like, what openings or what opportunities, like, do you guys have for the YGG community if we wanted, to, just join the party, basically?
So first of all, being part of the Monkey Fam is a reward enough in itself. And I'm just kidding, but not. But look, there's a lot of stuff that we can do together for sure. And obviously when the game features start to roll out, right, there's going to be a lot for the YGG community, especially the monkey holders, to obviously take part in. And I think we should be doing first of all, monthly AMAs with us, right? Monthly
Yeah.
updates, talks, that would be great to keep everyone informed, give them more behind the scenes and understanding, and to have more community events. We could do that together easily. And then once kind of gameplay rolls out, player versus environment, there's so much that we can do together, right?
Definitely.
Sky's the limit, dude. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, so before we go back to Saratobi and wrap things up, so what dates are we actually like looking at right now for Monkey Ball?
Like for features, cool. So in a few weeks, less than a few weeks, we'll announce the date very, very soon. We have Pioneers Gear Up Camp. So this is essentially where monkey holders and also a certain level of MBS holders will be able to partake and start collecting free claims of consumable items. So it could be healthcare items, it could be energy and things like that. Um, in the most, it's going to be energy, right? And energy is what you're going to be using to play matches, right? So you're going to be able to build up a nice energy supply that by the time match play comes, you'll be able to just start getting right into it. And also after that, we have the in-game store, the next version of the in-game store, which will be the capsule sale. After that, we'll start selling other consumable items like the healthcare items and the supply and food and things like that, because your monkeys, they just don't go, they're not Energizer bunnies, right? So they have stamina levels, they get injured
That's
and
pretty
things
cool.
like that. Yeah, so you will need to take care of them. You have a strategy that you need to put in place, and it's not just like action soccer match play, but it's also management, a little bit of management as well, right? So we have that. Then we have breeding season coming out a few weeks later, which is super exciting. And then a few months later, we have player versus environment. We have our a game trailer coming out next week. Super, super excited for that. It's not a gameplay trailer. I know everyone's, when gameplay, when gameplay. We'll release, actually, it's a good point to mention, we'll release in the next few weeks, actually, some gameplay sneak peeks. But my mission is, a lot of people don't know how a game is built, right? How do you build a game? How do you design it? What levels do you go through? What's the process, right? So it's actually our goal to take people through the development process. We'll start with an overview on what it takes to build a game, and then we'll take our community and everyone else through the process at each stage from that. And along the way, we'll be dropping gameplay footage, and then we'll have like a very intensive, almost like a training camp 2 months prior to
Yeah.
the launch of PvE. We're gonna do like a real deal training camp tutorial over everything. Yeah, I'm rambling again, man. You got me going. You got me going.
One thing that I'm really excited to hear about is, as you know, YGG is a play to earn guild. Mechanically, how do you kind of see guilds participating in the kind of monkey ball ecosystem? And that would be a kind of part one, and then part two, like, so I'm assuming that obviously the YGG scholars or scholars from other guilds are going to basically leverage the kind of rentals of monkeys to be able to participate in the ecosystem. But yeah, I'd love to kind of have some color on those kind of two pieces there.
Yeah, for sure. So obviously, YGG guild members, right? They're essentially scholars, right? So they'll be playing actively They'll be earning MBS. They'll be creating more gameplay, giving a boost to the economy, obviously. So that's definitely a critical part, because as we mentioned, we sold X amount of monkeys, and there's going to be some that are not gamers, right? So we do want to ensure that there's enough players within there for sure. And then you asked about the leasing kind of mechanism right there. So that might not be, it probably won't be in the MVP, right? We're talking about a lot of different features, but most important is that you come out with like the MVP, minimal viable game, and then start to add the features from there. But we will have the leasing mechanisms for Monkey Mercenaries and so on. There's going to be so many different ways that you're going to be able to earn in MonkeyBall. It's going to be crazy. We're going to be employing more people than the government of Greece.
Wow. What are the numbers? What are the numbers there?
I just threw that out there, man. I don't even know the population of Greece.
Yeah. Because
But there's going to be a lot of ways that you're going to be.
What classifies as a government employee? Do you include all the health sector workers and everything like that? Because then it could be quite a large number, right?
That is true. And we're talking about the monkeys that are going to be sweeping the monkey bathrooms. We're going to be talking about the monkeys that are playing the actual game. No, I'm just kidding.
I wouldn't want to be sweeping up monkey crap.
That is true, man. I didn't think that one through. But yeah, so a lot of different ways to earn, right? Being a spectator, leasing your monkeys to help other people play. And that's an important point too, because a lot of play and earn games, they have very high barriers to entry. So introducing these multiple kind of ways to participate in multiple ways to earn is a super important part to lower that barrier.
Awesome. I think, yeah, just one last thing for me. I think we missed it, but so how about esports? What can we expect from the esports side of monkey business?
Sure. So I mean, that's our core, right? That's our vision. We will be the esports, essentially the institution, the foundation, like the go-to place for esports on the metaverse, right? So we have the league component. We have essentially in the future being able to wager and root for different teams, tournaments, leaderboards, playing against each other, PvP, team versus team. We have the whole setup for it, and that's the grand vision.
Fantastic. I mean, I know that. Forgive me if I'm kind of one question that I'd really like to hear about is obviously I'm a huge fan of PvP, but also always love a good PvE version of a game. Can you tell us a little bit about that part for Monkey?
Yeah, sure. So our PvE, it's actually an interesting point because it's actually easier, or it would be the easier thing to just start out with PvP right from the beginning, right? But the proper way to kind of develop it and to make sure that it goes smoothly and to have everyone kind of transition into it is to come out with PvE. It's actually a lot more development because we're not just using standard computer. Like we literally have Unity developers, AI developers creating the computer players, which is nuts, right? We'll all meet these people when we do the team profiles, but and these are the kind of things that people don't think about when creating a game. They just think you're building a game, you have the art there, you have the design, you have the moves and everything, but there's a lot of behind the scenes development that's going on, and one of those is the PvE, where we have literal AI technology that is operating the computer players that you'll play against.
That's pretty awesome. Well, I know that we're kind of coming up to the kind of the end.
Let's stay, man. Where are we going?
Would love to say. I'm sure we'll kind of have you guys back on closer to the time.
Yeah.
I suppose like final questions from me. Would love to kind of hear like when will the community be able to get in and play, and then what are the best ways for the YGG community to keep up to date with what's going on with the world of MonkeyBall?
Sure. So I'll start with the second one first. Join our community, right? Let's have some cross community. communitization,
Cross-pollination, cross-pollination.
pollination, yeah. And yeah, join our communities. I'm sure you guys will have the socials up now or after. That's our Discord that you have up there now. Our Telegram, our Twitter, our Medium for our long form kind of articles and deeper dives into certain aspects. Content will also start really picking up over the next several weeks as we have more robust kind of events and content and features coming up and things like that. Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, just want to make a shout out again to everyone who attended tonight. Everyone's been waiting for this, and yeah, we did have to push back a bit, but again, thank you to everyone. Whoa, okay, I see it. So is this gonna be the giveaway for your co-hosts, Oren?
Oh, maybe, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead, my man. Go.
No, I was just gonna say, I do see, like the vision here for, all the merch and all the branding opportunities, just because like the characters in itself, are, it's really sick, man, really sick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of potential here, and we're not going to be impulsive about it. That's the most important. We're laser focused right now on building the game, taking one step at a time. A lot of startups, it's an important thing that you said. A lot of startups, they jump ahead very, very quickly. Right. In crypto, obviously, it's moving 24/7, nonstop. But we're being very mindful to still take things one step at a time and not get ahead of ourselves. But yeah, there's tons of potential for sure.
Awesome. But yeah, so guys, you heard it first from the main man himself. We have Oren Langberg from MonkeyBall. So everyone at home, please show your support the YGG community right now here on the Discord. I'd like to request everyone to join in on the MonkeyBall Discord basically and to show some support. It's hashtag Team YGG, hashtag We Are YGG, and hashtag MonkeyFam, hashtag MonkeyBall, whichever floats your boat. So everyone at home, we're gonna be seeing you real soon for updates with MonkeyBall. And yeah, do tune in. Once again, my name is John Sedano, Community Marketing Manager for Guild Games. Wishing everyone, a bang for 2022. Sorry, Toby.
Yep. Thanks, guys. Thanks for attending. Thanks, Oren. I think we're all pretty hyped. Looking forward to the monkey ball. Bit of monkey business all around. so many monkey jokes.
Oh,
I don't know, man. But you can never have enough monkey jokes. So thanks everyone for tuning in as normal, and I'm sure we'll be looking forward to seeing you guys in the next one that will be coming very, very soon.
Peace.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Much
guys.
monkey love.